March Madness reaches a fever pitch here in Peoria. Two great finishes in 3A. We hope you saw them here on the IHSA TV network earlier today. If not, where the heck were you? Two great finishes here at Carver Arena. We're hoping for more of the same tonight in our first 4A semifinal. It's Waukegan against Dundee-Crown. Waukegan has already had one fantastic finish on the road to state as we go to their sectional final against Warren. And the guy everybody's talking about, Jeremy Richmond, he committed to Illinois when he was just a freshman in high school. He hits the half-court shot to propel Waukegan to the super sectional. And then, of course, here they are tonight playing for a trip to the state championship game. Here for the call of tonight's first 4A semifinal, Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo.
Oh, and that shot was part of the madness that is March, and it was just like earlier on today, and it's just like Al McGuire used to say about the NCAA tournament. To win a championship, somewhere along the way, that last shot has to go in.
Jeff Beck from Dundee-Crown, he had a game winner in the sectional final. The miracle from midcourt by Jeremy Richmond. Special players do special things at special times. That's why they're in Peoria tonight.
So some tight games get these two teams here. Let's take a look at the road to Peoria. First of all, for Dundee-Crown, that regional final, a 2-point win. However, the Chargers had to defeat Elgin in overtime in the regional semis. Then the 11-point win over McKendree, the game winner from Beck in that sectional final against St. Charles North, and then knocking off the second-ranked team in the state, Neuqua Valley, behind Beck's 29 points. For Waukegan, the easy win over Fremd. Zion Benton, the defending state runner-ups, fall by 6. You saw the game winner against Warren, and a double-double from Jeremy Richmond in that big win over Glenbrook North this past Tuesday in the super sectional. Well, you take a look at these two ball clubs and you say, you know what, there's going to be great players, and I think their names have already come up. First of all, for Dundee-Crown, that would be Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck is a special player. Huge game against Neuqua Valley in the super sectional, 10 out of 17 from the floor. He's a quarterback. He does it all. His ability to handle the ball tonight is absolutely critical for the Chargers.
And who do you think we would feature on the Waukegan side? Well, as Lee said, he is headed to Illinois, and he's only a junior, Jeremy Richmond.
A special player, first-team All-Stater. He committed his freshman year. A great scorer, a great passer. He can dominate a game. He takes over at times. He's special because he can make everyone around him a much better player.
So both of these teams get here by way of close victories along the way. Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the ball game. These keys are brought to you by the Tire and Wheel experts. Waukegan Tire in Waukegan, Park City, and Grays Lake. First of all, for Dundee-Crown.
They have to respect the rock, value the basketball. Again, Beck is the key. Can they keep their turnovers under 15? Shot selection, make them count. They have to finish after they break the press and shoot around 48 to 52%, and then retreat. Get a couple looks, get back to the paint, and protect their basket defensively.
And then for the Bulldogs from Waukegan, this is what they need to do.
Create havoc, get offense out of their defense, pressing for points. One and done. They have the defensive rebound to get their running game into high gear. And then finally, foul-free early. They need to keep themselves out of foul trouble in order to keep their pressure on and keep their players in the basketball game for the full 28 to 32 minutes.
It's the 4A state finals coming to you from the Civic Center here in Peoria. We're going to have that tip-off when we come back. Dundee-Crown and Waukegan up next on the IHSA TV network. Great to have you with us here in our 4A semifinal game number 1. Coming up after this ball game, it will be Whitney Young taking on Thornton. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo alongside. And Mark, we take a look at these two teams. You see 49 wins combined against just 9 losses. That's where the similarities end for these two teams.
Absolutely. Waukegan, they want to create havoc. They want to run and jump. You'll see double and triple teams rotation in their defense. And, of course, Dundee-Crown, yeah, they can get up and down the floor, but they don't want to try to compete that way for 32 minutes. They want to maintain ball control, make the extra pass. So you make the extra pass, get the ball in Beck's hands in the middle of the floor where he can create plays and make opportunities for other people around him. I think Dundee-Crown wants a little slower tempo than Waukegan wants to play racehorse basketball.
The only double-figure score for Dundee-Crown is Jeff Beck. He handles the ball a lot. On the other side, we'll see a lot of sharing going on offensively for the Bulldogs.
Well, the Bulldogs have an awful lot of weapons. You know, it starts with Jeremy Richmond. There's no doubt about that. But they have 2 or 3 people that, you know, that we'll highlight as the ball game goes along that can score in bunches. And I think there's an awful lot of good athletes we're going to see on the floor tonight in the 2 semifinal games that we have the opportunity to broadcast.
Dundee-Crown fans, the Dog Pound from Waukegan is here as well. Let's get things started by going to our public address announcer here at the Civic Center. That's Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association of the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. The semifinal game in 4A for 2009 for the boys features the Carpentersville Dundee-Crown Chargers, a record of 24-5, and the Waukegan Bulldogs, a record of 25-4. At this time, to honor America, please stand, remove your caps, and pause for a moment of silence as we remember the men and women of the armed forces serving us here and around the world, away from their families, protecting our freedom. Thank you as we thank them. Now please address the flag with your hand over your heart as Krish Ash, a senior at Edwardsville High School, sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now let's meet the players for the semifinal game for the Chargers of Dundee-Crown. A 6'3" senior, 4, Colin McCarthy. A 6'10" senior, number 10, Gregory McNally. 5'10" junior, 12, Drew McManaman. 5'10" sophomore, 13, Kevin Cronin. 6 foot junior, 15, Sean Bernard. 6'3" senior, 21, Robert Stupar. 6'3" sophomore, 23, Ryan Smith. 5'10" junior, 24, Connor Martin. 6'2" junior, 25, Ryan Hagan. And 6'6" junior, 32, Jeffrey Clifford. Now let's meet the Waukegan Bulldogs. 6'2" freshman, 2, Akeem Springs. 5'10" junior, 5, Jeremy Long. 5'9" senior, 10, David Dunn. 5'10" senior, 11, Marquise Edmonds. 6'3" senior, 12, Marquand Edmonds. 5'9" junior, 14, James Towns. 6 foot senior, 21, Luis Fernandez. 6'4" junior, 22, Anton Williams. 6'4" senior, 42, Steve Claiborne. 6 foot junior, 44, Seth Taylor. And now the starting lineup for this semifinal contest. At a guard for Dundee-Crown, a 6'1" senior, 3, Jeff Beck. At a guard for Waukegan, a 5'10 junior, 1, Mike Springs. Another guard for the Chargers, a 5'11 senior, 5, Justin Strelchek. Another guard for the Bulldogs, a 5'9 sophomore, 20, Aaron Johnson. The third guard for Dundee-Crown, a 6-foot senior, 34, Marcus Henry. The third guard for Waukegan, a 6'1 junior, 24, Quan Connor. At center for the Chargers, a 6'6 senior, 33, Charles Kimbrough. And a forward for the Bulldogs, a 6'7 junior, 23, Jeremy Richmond. And a forward for Dundee-Crown, a 6'4 senior, 2, Aaron Reeves. The other forward for Waukegan, a 6'3 junior, 30, Colin Nickerson. Head coach for 6 years at Dundee-Crown, record of 166, Lance Huber. Assistant coaches, Bob Sweeney, Jeff Cassidy, Dave Walters, Jason Johnson, and Jim DeLong. Head coach for 9 years, 2 years at Waukegan with a record of 38-18, Ron Ashlaw. Assistant coaches, Tim Bowen, Scott Sander, Jason Black, Marlo Finner, KT Reeves, Pete Krakenberger, and Russ Chamberlain. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA and its board of directors and member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship from all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee from Rantoul, Gary Boer. From Peoria, Gene Rayford. From Springfield, Mark Powell. Presenting the game ball for the semifinal game will be Craig Bertrand, General Manager of Prairie Farms, one of the sponsors for the March Madness experience next door at the exhibit hall. We thank Prairie Farms for their contribution to the greatest high school single event in the land.
A moment ago, you saw the teams meeting at center court to exchange handshakes and show each other good sportsmen, and that moment was brought to you by Walgreens. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right Good Sportsmanship campaign. Our starting lineup's brought to you by Meijer. Check us out at shopformore@meijer.com. Dundee-Crown, an entire senior starting lineup on the other side for Waukegan. Only Colin Nickerson, he is the lone senior.
To check the tempo early, Waukegan's going to be in an attack mode with their defense.
It will be the Chargers from Dundee-Crown with it first. We'll check out these early matchups. Beck has yet to touch the ball. Reeves will give it up to Charles Kimbrough. This is not necessarily where he likes to handle the ball. Marcus Henry will back it out in the dribble. This is Beck.
Good floor spacing by Dundee-Crown with a motion offense, a lot of vertical and then horizontal screens.
And best defensive player on the floor for Waukegan, Colin Nickerson, with the forced turnover.
You know, Nickerson is going to Fairfield. He was recruited by a lot of mid-majors, but we had a chance to visit with him yesterday. He said the best part of his game is he's a lockdown defender. He takes a great deal of pride in that. He got a tie up right there.
Nickerson has it now. You'll like the point guard Mike Springs. He will give it up to Aaron Johnson. Richmond buries the three to get things started.
Silky smooth, good ball reversal. The ball came from the top of the wing, and with a 1-2 step, got his feet underneath him. Ever so slightly did that ball hit the net.
His 17th three-pointer of the season. Nice cut back door, and there's Richmond with the block.
Great cut by Strelchek on the penetration, the pass from Reeves, but there he was. The human eraser came and swatted that ball away.
Averaging over 2 blocks a game, Jeremy Richmond. You know, you take a look at Richmond, he studies a lot of film, game film from NBA players. He patterns his shot blocking ability off of Kevin Garnett.
Got long arms and some of the body features of Garnett.
Inside will not go for Henry. Kimbrough has it ripped away. Here come the Bulldogs. Nickerson with the finish.
Transition, the race was on. It started with it at the defensive end when Kimbrough put the ball on the floor. A big man sin, and then the strip and the fast break by Waukegan.
Open for three is Reams. And you see the pace here early for Waukegan. Partially deflected Aaron Reeves with a shot block, and another. About every different type of action you could have in about a 10-second span there. You see Dundee-Crown, they have been hot. In fact, they've won their last 9 games, 15 of the last 16. Lance Huber picking up career win 100 in that super sectional win on Tuesday. What a way to get it.
15 out of 16. Waubonsie Valley handled them pretty well on a weeknight game that Lance Huber thought maybe turn their season back around and get their team refocused.
Nearly a pick that time from Quan Connor. Connor all over Henry.
Yes, incredible pressure right now by the Bulldogs. Quickness, you can't hide from quickness. Every time the Dundee-Crown wants to reverse the basketball, there's a white shirt in the passing lane denying ball reversal.
The last win for Waukegan, of course, the super sectional against Glenbrook North. Their last loss also came to Glenbrook North. And there's a 3-ball from Quan Connor.
Quan Connor steps it up. Usually he's a drive, draw, and dish man, strong with a basketball, but you know, that time he again got his feet underneath him, spotted up, got a good look, and cleaned it up.
2nd and 3-point field goals behind Nickerson. We've played almost 2.5 minutes, and this may be the first decent shot, but it'll be a block by Richmond. Here comes the 6'7" junior on the dish to Nickerson.
Magic in the open floor. Once again, he starts with the defensive end. Then he has the look-away pass, the underhand dish. He just loves to distribute the basketball.
Still, the Chargers from Dundee-Crown looking for their first good look at a shot. Another board from Richmond. Chance for Kimbrough. Richmond to Connor, and here come the Bulldogs with an early 10-0 lead. That's an offensive foul on Quan Connor.
Quan Connor, we saw him the other night in the super sectional. We just mentioned he likes to try to get the ball deep. Sometimes gets himself a little bit out of control, but Jeremy Richmond just cleaning up on the paint, getting that transition going.
This timeout couldn't come soon enough for Coach Lance Huber. He's seen enough of Dickerson inside. We'll be back with more after this local timeout.
Up by 1, 4.7. Jeremy Richmond lets it go from half court. Got it!
A couple timeouts that we called, we said we're just going to have somebody put the ball on the floor, push, and make a play, and he certainly did that. He's a player that's very capable of all kinds of miraculous and spectacular things, and that's a highlight for Waukegan forever.
You know, and Ron Ashlaw was talking to us yesterday, Mark, about how after that shot, the celebration, he looked up into the stands and he saw teenagers crying along with all the senior citizens. What a great moment.
You know, and he painted the picture even deeper for us. He said a lot of the purple paint on the faces and purple paint running all over down the cheeks of students and student athletes, and that's what brings the community together. There's nothing like the original March Madness.
You know, especially gratifying for Ron Ashlaw. Last year, the Bulldogs were 13-14. They had lofty ambitions. Things did not work out so well for them. One of the problems was with the seniors mixing with the younger players. Jeremy Richmond got into a little bit of a tip with Ashlaw, but everything's all straightened out this year.
He's got the look of a state title contender here already in the Final Four.
Beck can't get it going. Richmond above the rim. Here he comes. Nickerson, Connor, and for Quan Connor, that will be number 2 on the charge. Both on the charge, and Quan Connor took that ball hard to the rack. Might want to work on his jump stop and being able to elevate and create something off the, the 5-foot, 7-foot floater right there instead of getting the ball too deep. Good job by Dundee-Crown, taking 2 charges, staying in, and being just tough-nosed basketball. Now we'll bring on Akeem Springs, a 6'2" freshman for Waukegan, and Waukegan, Ron Ashlaw's team, only goes about 6 deep. They're not worried about it, because they say they play ball all summer. They just don't get tired. Also into the game for Dundee-Crown, number 10 is Greg McNally. He has it now. Beck posting up inside. And away with it is Springs. Nickerson finishes. It's a layup contest right now. It's a workout in transition. We had a stopwatch. They get the ball up the floor like under 5 seconds every time. Ron Ashlaw feels like his team may be the fastest team in the state. We've seen it here early. McNally cannot get the Chargers on the board. Another rebound for Richmond. Every time Dundee-Crown does get a shot right now, the pace is so frenetic that they're rushed and they're just not getting the good, clean look. That's the second 3-ball of the game from Jeremy Richmond, and it is a 15-0 lead here early. It's a blitzkrieg, and just count how many times Waukegan gets their hand on the ball. Coaches love to keep track of deflections, and they have about 6 or 8 deflections already. There's another one. Dundee-Crown needs one to go down. Beck can't get it. Henry inside at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. 5-minute, 15-0 run stopped right there, but the bleeding is still going on. They got to stop it more than that 1 2-pointer. But you need that first one to go down, just to break that lid on the bucket. Richmond. Beck is able to get it to McNally. Here comes Dundee-Crown. They want to push a little bit. Strelczyk. 6th rebound of the game for Richmond. Strelczyk looked down to see where he's at on the floor. Then had to regain his sight line at the bucket. That may have been a shooter's negative right there. One reason he missed that shot. Mike Springs, the junior, 3-year starter. Nickerson off the pick. Everything going down for Waukegan. They are 7 of 10 from the floor. Great set play. They had the screen and roll on the strong side. Then they ran somebody on the weak side, brought the ball back over to Nickerson. He got the friendly spin. Springs pokes it away from Beck from behind. You can see just for a moment, Jeff Beck, number 3 for Dundee-Crown, pretty much an emotionless player. You could see the frustration on his face after that turnover. Nickerson looking for double digits. Instead, the rebound to Strelczyk. Full court pressure. Got the freshman right now, Springs, on the basketball, creating havoc. Another turnover. That's 5. Nothing doing on the other end. Now we see something that Coach Lance Hubert told us he would be very cognizant of, and that you do not see Beck handling the basketball in the full court. They want to trust other people to handle the basketball, get it into the scoring zone, and get Beck the ball in the middle of the floor where he can create some things, but he has not gotten very many touches thus far in the middle of the lane. Robert Stupar has it to McNally. Inside, nice move inside by Reams. He can't finish. And a foul on Dundee-Crown. What a great play by McNally, getting that ball deep. The 6'4" senior guard, number 10, takes that ball deep, makes a nice bounce pass, but every time you think you have an open lane to the basket, there's a white shirt being a fly swatter inside. Coming up on our final minute here in the first quarter, it has belonged to the Bulldogs from Waukegan. Springs, tough shot. 6'4" senior Reams with it. And he'll go coast to coast. Reams went high in the sky to get that one down. Then he takes it coast to coast
falling away from his right side, but was able to get the ball up on the glass and avoid any contact.
Reams draws the assignment on Richmond.
Pick and pop, Waukegan using the ball screen, then it's just clear out for the man.
Beck with it. Numbers for the Chargers. McNally.
Excellent play by Beck as he got the ball to McNally in transition. McNally let the pressure go by, was able to kiss it off the glass and get a big bucket. 1-4 low for Mike Springs here. He's going to create a shot.
Springs will take it. An 11-point lead at the end of one for the Waukegan Bulldogs, third-ranked team in the state. Greg McNally needs more of these in the second quarter coming up.
This IHSA telecast is brought to you by Country Financial. For a no-obligation insurance and financial review, call the Country Financial representative near you. At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
All right, 17-6, kind of a tough start for Dundee-Crown, but nothing like the finish at the Super Sectional. We're with Kristen Huber. Tell us what happened. You're the coach's wife. Tell us what happened after the Super Sectional.
Well, we won, and then they were all on the floor cheering, and the boys went down to see their dad, and they were taking pictures, and Jason's head kind of got in the way of the plaque.
What happened to your head, buddy? Jason's 5. What happened to your head?
I got hit.
By what?
By a trophy.
You got hit in the head with a trophy, and you got how many stitches?
5.
5, and you're how old?
5 years old.
Oh, you're 5 and you got 5 stitches, and you still got the Band-Aid.
Uh-huh.
What happened to the trophy? Did you break the trophy with your head?
No.
Oh, good. What was the best part about going to the hospital?
Probably getting snacks.
Getting snacks. Did you get a cool Band-Aid or a sticker?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of, okay. Well, he's got a war wound, guys. I mean, that's what it takes. That's what March Madness is all about, you know, taking one for the team, right, buddy? All right. Say go Dundee-Crown.
Go Dundee-Crown.
All right. That's my man right there.
You know, it's not that I would wish it on him, but I think he might like to have a scar. What a great memory that would be.
Tough way to go, getting beat up by the sectional trophy.
Ahead to Nickerson. Hangs and scores.
Nickerson already with 11 points, 4 out of 7 from the floor, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. Getting out in transition. Or 5 out of 8 from the floor, excuse me.
And a kiss off the glass from Greg McNally.
McNally coming to give some quality minutes here. Made a couple plays offensively. Got the ball deep a couple times, giving some nice minutes.
Zone here now for Dundee-Crown.
Trying to slow down the pace of the game, force some extra passes, and force Waukegan to shoot from outside, but no, they get the penetration anyway.
Boy, Aaron Reams has been tough on the boards here early for the Chargers. On the floor for Dundee-Crown, they have Robert Stupar, three-point shooter. In fact, he was in the three-point shooting contest yesterday. Here are your first quarter stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Well, what stands out here is 3 out of 15 for Dundee-Crown. That just won't get it done. All of their shots have been altered or hurried by the relentless pressure by Waukegan, especially on the inside. 3 out of 3 Waukegan from the arc. That's scintillating. They've all been wide open looks.
The only double-figure scorer in the Dundee-Crown lineup is Jeff Beck. He has nothing here tonight. And a bank off the glass from Marcus Henry. And that one's going to be wiped out.
Going to see Aaron Johnson, number 20, be able to step in. He gets good possession, stays vertical, maybe just in time to take that charge, but 2 people in position for Waukegan. Well coached defensively, 3rd-man rotation on the drive.
12-point lead in the ball for the Waukegan Bulldogs, 25-4 on the season.
Waukegan living 10 points off of 7 turnovers by Dundee-Crown at this juncture.
Now out of the half-court set. Johnson, he can light it up. A little bit out of control, but he will not finish, but he'll get a help from the big man inside, Jeremy Richmond, with his 8th point of the night.
3 chances, got it done that time.
Greg McNally, 6 of the 10 Dundee-Crown points coming off the bench.
3 out of 4 from the floor, and he's been totally under control since he came in and has kept this team in the game.
Nickerson bottoms it out. He has 14 first-half points.
He's the leader of this team, the extreme senior leader, says Coach Aslaw.
Stupar misses his first attempt. Look at that pressure.
Talking to Nickerson yesterday, he told us, you know, they had the big heads going into the Pontiac tournament, a loss to Plainfield North down at Pontiac, and he said, we were too big-headed. We needed a little bit of a slap on the face, and well, Plainfield North was able to accommodate that, and since then, Waukegan, they've been running the dream.
You know, and actually since that point, they also lost to Peoria Manual at that tournament, and then lost to Zion Benton and Glenbrook North later in the year. 2 really very good teams that could just as easily have been taking their spot right here on this floor.
Absolutely. Glenbrook North and Waukegan played 3 ball games this year. Waukegan got the final one last week at the Hoffman State Super Sectional.
Stupar out of the inbounds, had to rush it a little bit. Well, your 2 leading scorers for Waukegan on the season, Jeremy Richmond, Colin Nickerson, together they average 39 points a game. They have 22 of the first 25 here for Waukegan tonight.
And we look at the other end, Beck for Dundee-Crown has only touched the ball in the paint area twice, so he has not been able to get to the defense and create opportunities for his ball club.
Johnson accelerates to the hole. He's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he put it into overdrive, a good shot fake, then a hesitation, stop and go, and boom, he took the ball right to the glass, and then a kiss.
Aaron Johnson's first bucket of the night, he averages 8.7 a game. He just may have picked up the foul with Beck controlling on the dribble.
Got a sophomore on the floor for some minutes, and Johnson, Akeem Springs, number 2, a freshman. They got some young talent still coming up for the Bulldogs.
Waukegan led by 11 at the end of 1. They have stretched it to 17. Back with more after this from your local sponsors.
Well, you know, I guess nerves probably, you know, being down here and the size of the arena and everything. And, you know, we haven't played in arena this big before. I'd say that's the biggest concern. Obviously, he's a really good player, great athlete, and hopefully we can find a way to, you know, slow him down.
That's Lance Huber talking about Jeremy Richmond, and so far, Mark, he's been right on both accounts here in the early going for Dundee-Crown. It has been a struggle here playing under the bright lights. Richmond has hurt them, 14 points from Nickerson, but total team pressure from the Waukegan Bulldogs, more so than the big court in the bright lights.
Absolutely. It's just been the defensive pressure in the passing lanes, creating havoc. They have really stayed with their game plan and executed it. They've elevated to the next level here tonight, even what we saw against Glenbrook North the other night, taking it to another level.
The Swissel coming away from the ball.
Frustration foul by Dundee-Crown on the illegal screen, if you will. They caught number 21, Robert Stupar, usually their best jump shooter. You know, he is their best jump shooter from the 3-land. He hasn't gotten a touch out there as well. So the shooting percentages for Dundee-Crown are just indicative, 5 out of 19, of how much shots have been rushed and altered. Another change in defense now in a 1-3-1 set, basically, for Dundee-Crown. And they'll come out with a set play, Will Waukegan.
Mike Springs, a heady point guard for the Bulldogs. Oh, Nickerson on the big stage, coming up big. 17 first half points. He's buried a couple of threes.
Well, they had a pick and pop opportunity right there, and Nickerson takes advantage. They didn't switch on the screen. He popped out and took the screen from the big guy inside, Richmond, and nailed that three ball.
You know, some comparisons to Colin Nickerson in terms of the total spectrum is he is the Scottie Pippen of this team compared to Jeremy Richmond as in the Michael Jordan of this team, and Nickerson putting on a show here this evening.
He's been doggone good. He's recruited by a lot of mid-majors, but he said Fairfield was the right fit. He thinks he can play right away. I project him. He could play at, I think, a different level than that.
Reeves being hounded every direction he turns. Nickerson was ready to make something happen until he had a little bit loose with the dribble.
The sixth steal, though, will be credited to Waukegan, and we have 4:09 to play. So just in 12 minutes of basketball, they've pilfered it, 6 times already.
9 turnovers. It's not part of the game plan for the Chargers. Here's Kimbrough. He hasn't gotten many touches inside, and Richmond stuffs him. Ahead to Nickerson. Johnson. Richmond. And now Dundee-Crown 3-on-3. Off the hands of Kimbrough. Look out!
Showtime.
That's what the folks came here to see.
I tell you what, Kimbrough on the inside for Dundee-Crown just having all sorts of trouble on the inside with Richmond, and then just a flush right there in the open floor. You could see his eyes light up deciding which way he was going to finish with that flush.
You know, and the irony of that, he hung on the rim as traffic was clearing underneath him, but it was somewhat of a controversy throughout the state as Richmond gets to double figures. He has 11 now. In the championship win in the regional over Fremd late in that ball game, Richmond hung on the rim. He had had a technical foul earlier in the year. He was called for a technical for hanging on the rim in that game against Fremd. As we go the other way, and this time it's Nickerson's turn.
The tomahawk.
And a timeout is called as this crowd goes wild from Waukegan.
We talk about a run for fun. Richmond gets it going. Nickerson elevates and throws it down one-handed. It all starts in transition. Get the ball to the defensive glass. Finish.
Colin Nickerson, the 6'3" senior, the only senior in the starting lineup for Waukegan. Finishing the story with Jeremy Richmond. He was called for a technical, hanging on the rim, but after a review of the tape, it was determined that there were bodies underneath him. So the second technical, which would normally have said you had to sit out the next game, that was overturned, and indeed he did play against Zion Benton and progressed on. 13 straight points scored here by Waukegan to build this 25-point lead. They're on an 18-4 run overall.
Well, it's just been a blitzkrieg of a defense that has kick-started this offense. They are hitting on every cylinder you can imagine. Waukegan putting on showtime here tonight. And what impresses me about Waukegan is how much they distribute the basketball. They're so unselfish. They make the extra pass. 25-point deficit with 3:18 to go. Just unbelievable hill right now for Dundee-Crown to fight.
If you're watching this game in the IHSA TV network, you know some folks outside of Illinois that would like to get in on the action right there. You can get it live streaming at foxjocks.com. I know there's relatives, friends, family all across the country, heck, all across the world that would like to be part of America's original March Madness. You can get it right there at foxjocks.com.
We talked to Lance Huber yesterday. He said one of his team's goals was to have 70 practices. That means they were playing deep into March. They reached that goal when they hit the floor at Carver yesterday. It was practice number 71, so they're here.
You know, and his players were very much aware of that as Aaron Reeves will turn it over, the 11th turnover of the half for the Chargers.
Interesting thing on Huber, he followed Bruce Furchaw at Dundee-Crown. Bruce Furchaw, the former coach, and Bruce Furchaw, the former coach of Oswego. So Bruce Furchaw at Westminster Academy now has ties to both Kevin Schnabel's Oswego team in the state championship of 3A and Lance Hubert's team in the Final Four here in Class 4A.
And congratulations to Oswego and Champaign Centennial. They will be playing the Class 3A championship tomorrow afternoon, and another rejection from Richmond.
I'll tell you how good Richmond is. It's Kimbrough basically is 0 for 2 from the floor, only 2 shots at 6'6". We see right now just the great timing that Richmond has as he gets the ball on the way up. He swatted away at least 3.
McNally has been the bright spot for Dundee-Crown early. Can't get that one to go. And on the other end, Aaron Johnson slow getting up for Waukegan. Quan Connor back in the game. He has a couple of fouls.
3, 4 passes right there on the ball reversal. 5, 6. So good patience, and then they get the ball to the man.
Henry high for the boards for Dundee-Crown. Kimbrough was looking to do a little bit more with it than that. Beck took the 5'10" Mike Springs. Beck, 6'1" senior, took him down into the post.
Kimbrough from Dundee-Crown had a big game in their win against Neuqua Valley. He blocked 4 shots. He altered about 4 or 5 others. He's a young man that I think is going to be a good one. He's going to grow into his body. He's considering Elmhurst College and Aurora University. And, you know, when he puts on some strength and some timing, he thinks his biggest improvement has been his timing and his verticality. But the pace of the game right now is a little bit too quick for him because he's facing Jeremy Richmond, one of the top players in Illinois.
Marquand Edmonds has come into the ball game for Waukegan. He's wearing number 12 as Beck goes to the hole for his first points of this game, and they come at the 2:05 mark here in the second quarter.
There's Beck, who Todd Sutton from Neuqua Valley said this young man was outstanding. He was all player, all-stater. He had 29 points, 10 out of 17 in the Super.
Another turnover. Connor. Quan Connor, he's picked up 2 charges that way, and this time it'll be a block.
13th turnover for Dundee-Crown. See the open floor, and once again you see Connor taking the ball to the rack, so he's not going to change his game plan. This time he gets a block, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
17th foul on Dundee-Crown. Into the game now is Stephen Claiborne, number 42 for Waukegan, as Ron Ashlaw going a little bit deeper into his bench. He has a comfortable 23-point lead here in the final 2 minutes of the first half.
Well, they called that on the floor. Connor's 79% free throw shooter, won't get a chance.
Nickerson, kick back Marquand Edwards. Kimbrough to Beck. That's a tough bounce pass. Numbers for the Bulldogs.
One of the few mistakes by Waukegan. Dundee-Crown right now just wants to regroup and maybe get a 4 or 5 touch possession here. Try to get the ball deep once again. I think when they get the ball deep against the big guys from Waukegan, they got to throw it inside out and maybe get some inside out threes.
We'll take a look at all the stats at the half, but right now Dundee-Crown out rebounding Waukegan by a 19-17 margin. That was about the only place they have an advantage. On the stats and on the board, you can see the results, 23-point difference.
9 steals for the Bulldogs.
Nickerson will have a seat. Remember, coming up next following this game, Thornton and Whitney Young.
Good job by Jeff Beck there on the inbounds play. Got himself squared up. Left, right shoot, got his feet under them. Good foul through. Gets himself on the board once again.
Springs finds the hole, finds his man. Claiborne's shot comes up a little bit short. And unable to save it is Greg McNally.
Ron Ashlaw still coaching his tail up, even with a big lead, his second season. He's coached previously at St. Benedict's and U-High in Chicago. 38-18 here at Waukegan.
He played under and he coached under St. Pat's coach Mike Bailey, who was a great mentor for Ashlaw, not just in his early coaching career, but even now they stay in constant contact.
Played for Mike at St. Gregory High School, the Greyhounds. Great super sectional team with a young man named Kevin Foots early in the 90s and late 80s.
You can hear Ron Ashlaw in the background saying, "Finish with the victory, Mike." Mike Springs, his point guard, has it now. And he did. How about that? What a first half for the Waukegan Bulldogs. 37-14. A 17-point first quarter followed by a 20-point second quarter. They have done it outside the arc and inside the paint. Let's go to Lee Hall.
All right, we're with Ron Ashlaw, 37-14, Coach, at the half. When your team plays like that in the first half, do they give you anything to talk about at halftime?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot of things. We want to stay out of foul trouble with our pressure defense. We're talking about moving our feet, beating them to spots, moving on angles, all those kinds of things. Got to close out to their open shooters, and we got to keep rebounding the basketball.
Got to be pretty happy with that first half, though.
Yeah, we've got another half to go.
All right, good luck to you second half, Coach. All right, back after this on the IHSA TV network. And we are back at Carver Arena. We are at halftime. Welcome to our National Association of Realtors halftime show. The NAR would like to remind you that buying a home is an investment in your future. Whether you're buying or selling a home, contact a realtor, a member of the NAR. Waukegan up 37-14 over Dundee-Crown. Lee Hall back here at Tournament Central. And Coach, that score is deceptive because it wasn't really that close.
No, it wasn't. At one point, I think they went 4 minutes before they scored, and when they finally scored, they scored a couple of baskets. I said, well, all right, maybe they're getting ready to get into it, and they went on another 10-0 run.
Pretty impressive display by Waukegan in the first half. Jeremy Richmond is the real deal. He's been talked about since he was a freshman, committed to Illinois, and I think tonight we kind of see why. For those of us who haven't seen him play before, he's got it all. I mean, he can handle the ball, he can shoot from outside, he can work inside. He's really the real deal, isn't he?
Yes, and one of the things Coach was concerned about with him tonight, he wanted him to play big inside. And as you can see, he's done that. I mean, he's had about 3 or 4 blocks. He's rebounded, and he really hasn't done a lot on the perimeter-wise. I think he's let Nicholson do most of the perimeter work.
Right, and it's hard to believe, but attitude has been the problem for him, and he seems to have his head on straight for tonight's game. And Colin Nickerson, people in the stands are telling me he's really impressive too. He's only a junior. They did a really nice job of finding him in transition in the offense.
Yeah, I think he's got about 20 points in the first half. So he's done a great job. He's knocked down some threes, went to the hole on the fast break and got a dunk. So looks like they're having fun out there.
We'll take a look at the first half stats when we come back and see if we can find out a way to get Dundee-Crown back in this one after this local timeout. And the ball's in Waukegan's court so far. 37-14 the lead over Dundee-Crown. And we are back here at halftime, our NAR Association of Realtors halftime show. Anthony Longstreet, former coach at Crane, Lee Hall. Let's take a look at those stats brought to us by Menards. Say big money at Menards, the halftime stats. And it's not going to look good for Dundee-Crown, Coach.
No, it's not. I mean, they've actually have 26 shots put up, but they've only made 7, opposed to Waukegan's 15 out of 32, so that's a good percentage.
We talk about sharing the basketball, 10 assists on 15 buckets. That's awfully good.
Wow, and it kind of helps with their transition, so those are easy assists.
20-2 points off turnovers, 14-8 points in the paint, 9 steals. Only 3 second chance points, but they haven't had to go for second chance points, right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you're making
when you're making the first one, yeah. So Dundee-Crown will try and put all that behind him here, and as we take a look at the individual scores, McNally with 6, Beck with just 4 for Dundee-Crown. You thought Nickerson had at least 20. Well, he's got 19, and Jeremy Richmond with 11.
Yeah, I think Dundee, and I'm not trying to put the kid on the spot, but they need to get something out of Kimbrough. I haven't seen anything from him, and Beck, he didn't score until 2 minutes left in the half. So those two guys are going to have to pick it up.
Still 16 minutes to play. Stranger things have happened. We'll be around for it, and hope you will be too back after this local timeout.
Our first semifinal here in Class 4A this evening. Waukegan a 37-14 lead over Dundee-Crown. Thanks for joining us here on the IHSA TV network. Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo. And Mark, you take a look at the way this game has progressed. People didn't really even get a chance to get settled into their seats when everything started happening.
An early blitzkrieg created by the defense of Waukegan got the running game going into overdrive.
Buzz has been started right for the opening tip. And number 23 is the man responsible for it, Jeremy Richmond.
Richmond comes over from the weak side and swats it up to another level. Takes the ball in the open floor. A great no-look pass. Nickerson with a kiss off the glass to finish that transition. And then the spot up, nice and easy. Good foul through flick of the wrist. Fingers face the floor. Richmond from 3. Continues the highlight reel. Finally off the snide. Marcus Henry knocks one down. Gets the ball inside for Dundee-Crown. Then on the open floor, Aaron Reams off transition gets a kiss off the glass as well. So Dundee with a little bit of a rally.
On the other end, Colin Nickerson. Here's 2 of his 19. Kaboom. And with it, a 23-point lead for the Bulldogs from Waukegan. The head coach of the Dundee-Crown Chargers, Lance Huber, standing by with Lee Hall.
All right, we're with Lance Huber. Well, this is not the ultimate plan, was it, to kind of lull them into a false sense of security, was it?
No, we didn't come out and plan to get down by 23 and then make a comeback. That wasn't our plan, but we're just going to try to take it one possession at a time and see if we can make a game of it by the fourth quarter.
All right, good luck to you second half, Coach. Appreciate it. Back after this on the IHSA TV network.
Taking a look at the Washington Pep Band, last year in 3A, it was their basketball team that was down here, and this year they get rewarded here on a Friday by being able to perform at both of these sessions. So congratulations to Lisa Thies, the band director at Washington. Coming up later on this evening, after this first semifinal game is concluded, we have semifinal game number 2, highly anticipated matchup with Whitney Young and the top-ranked Thornton Wallace. That'll be coming your way right here on the IHSA TV network.
Lance Huber with a challenge in front of him. Eastern Illinois grad. He does undergrad work at Millikan. Then he went to Eastern Illinois to get his teacher certification. He was a manager under Rick Samuels, the great coach, former coach of Eastern Illinois. And his challenge right now is to keep his team believing and playing on a big stage and try to get something positive out of this next 16 minutes.
School record wins this year for the Chargers from Dundee-Crown, 24 wins. They brought a huge crowd here tonight to Peoria.
None bigger than their super sectional wins. Neuqua Valley, Jeff Beck told us, hey, nobody thought we could beat them, but we did. And they basically stunned the western suburbs of Kane County with that one.
Out of the break, Jeremy Richmond knocks down his third three of this game.
What new right there? Jeremy Richmond showing an outside stroke that many people had questioned how much that would develop, and he has every part of his A game working tonight.
Henry finds Beck. Colin Nickerson the rebound. Nickerson with his third rebound. Richmond with 9 first-half rebounds. Another 3.
See what a great point guard, though, Mike Springs is number 1. He had his head up the whole time, seeing the floor. He saw Richmond wide open.
And already here in the first 2 possessions, we've seen Jeff Beck touch the ball a couple more times than he did early on in that first half. Nice finish inside by Marcus Henry on the floater.
Good give and go. Went to Reams and then the cut by Henry, and he had a nice little teardrop of a shot from about 8 feet in. Dundee-Crown a little bit more patient, getting some more touches on offense. And you're right, the game plan is to get Beck touches on the interior to create the defense to collapse on him and let him create plays for other people.
Kimbrough will not get called for the block because of the turnover, as coverage of this IHSA basketball tournament is sponsored by Walgreens and Zero Cal Water. Zero Cal Water is exclusively available at Walgreens and is a proud sponsor of this IHSA network broadcast.
I live off that stuff during the week.
And here at the Class 4A tournament, you're not?
You got the straight stuff this time.
Yeah, you do, yeah. On the outside, Marcus Henry, second on the club and scoring at 9.3, and Quan Connor goes the other way. Finds Nickerson on the trail.
Quan Connor, what an unselfish play as he finds Nickerson trailing up. He just lays it over fingertips over the front of the rim. Transition game, 22 points off turnovers right now for the Bulldogs. Here comes some more.
Johnson, Nickerson, score.
Selflessness is in abundance tonight for the Waukegan Bulldogs.
12 of their 18 field goals have had an assist attached to them.
They're dialing up DSL tonight because everything they're doing is at high speed. There's Beck with a touch inside.
Reams battles inside. Kimbrough the tip and score, his first basket of the night.
You know, that time Kimbrough showed his athleticism, great jumping quickness, and he had a nice feather touch to just lead that ball back against the rim. Dundee-Crown right there with a second and third chance opportunity. They finally finish.
And speaking of Kimbrough, St. Charles North head coach Tom Poland says, you know, Kimbrough just jumps to the roof. We got a little glimpse of it there. Now, speaking of Charles Kimbrough, he uses his son as his inspiration. In fact, it was last Friday his son celebrated his first birthday. But right now, this game belonging to the Bulldogs, and we'll come back after this timeout. Here, as we wait for your local messages. Dundee-Crown, who have won a state championship, not always Dundee-Crown. From the 30s to the mid-60s, Dundee was known as the Cardoonals, and that was the compilation of the towns of Carpentersville, Dundee, and Algonquin. And then in the mid-60s, Crown High School opened up. Their nickname was the Vikings. So when they merged in '83, only natural, the Chargers. And how many times have we seen that happen through the years as teams have and schools have come together? Our thanks to John Radke of the Daily Herald for that information.
Integration of communities, and communities what high school basketball is all about, the feeling of community. Dundee-Crown still has a great contingent here tonight. Waukegan, hey, they bring them out as well, so this place is filled in pretty well here tonight. It was a little bit sparse early on, but right now Carb Arena is about 85-90% filled.
Well, and here are two schools that have not had the numerous trips downstate, and it's so gratifying to see their student body and their communities taking advantage of this special evening. And that will be an over and back call as the pressure will not let up here against the Chargers. Still looking for their 20th point of the night at the 4:40 mark of the third quarter.
Jeff Beck, he was under duress there by two Bulldog defenders, but you know what? He's under duress. He's got 5 sisters at home. How about being under duress there, being the only guy and 5 sisters? That's under duress, just like this pressure.
You know, and he victimized his sisters one time. They got into a little bit of a fight, you know, not a physical fight, but a dispute. Jeff's parents, along with his sisters, left the house to go somewhere else. So what did Jeff do? He raided his sisters' clothing drawers and threw their clothes up in the trees at home.
Including some unmentionables that were out on the front lawn. So I tell you what, the neighborhood was talking then. So a lot of fun around the Beck house. His mom, Sherry's the cook, if you will, for Dundee-Crown's basketball team. A lot of social events in the summer, especially, go around Dundee-Crown and the Beck home.
Richmond with his 15th point of the night. This one comes from the line. He's got a couple of free throws there. Started his high school career at North Shore Country Day as a freshman before transferring to Waukegan last year. Knocks them both down.
He was about as heralded as a player as could be right then. They talked about the competition level. He has nothing. There's no competition differential for Jeremy Richmond, I'll tell you that.
His first game as a high school freshman, 34 points, 21 rebounds. A couple of days later is when he committed to the University of Illinois. Kimbrough pushed outside.
A little bit more patience right there by the Chargers.
And the flush from Charles Kimbrough.
Drive, draw, dish, and the flush. Kimbrough right now has had a couple athletic plays back-to-back in the last minute and a half for Dundee-Crown, and you can just see his confidence level up a little bit.
I was just going to say that because he was pretty much a non-factor in that first half, but you just see him saying, you know what, I can play with these people now.
People watching at home, all you want to do is watch athletes' body language. You can tell what kind of performance they're having and what kind of performance they're going to have by their facial demeanor.
Henry, the smart move, bringing it back out. Through traffic, somehow that pass got through there, but the rebound will come off to Connor. Nickerson spots it, just nicks the rim. Oh my, you gotta be kidding me. Colin Nickerson, stop it. The other way, Strelchik. And Kimbrough finishes.
Strelchik gets in front of things after that circus shot by Nickerson the other end. And then Kimbrough once again his third inside play in about the last 2.5-3 minutes. Great pass inside.
And back out to Nickerson. This is Springs for 3.
Just great Bulldog basketball right there. The Dogs are biting hard right now. That ball went inside, outside, then reverse from right wing to left wing, and then the finish and the tray from outside.
And any one of about 3 different players could have taken a shot, and it would have been an okay shot to take.
7 out of 12 from Treeland for Waukegan. Bullseye shooting for the Bulldogs.
Kimbrough comes out to get a breather along with Marcus Henry. Into the game for Dundee-Crown, making his first appearance of this game. It's Colin McCarthy. He wears number 4.
6'3", 172, senior.
Oh, and it was yeah, the look inside to Akeem Springs. Springs ready to do some rebounding. Richmond thought he'd pick up an assist on that one. You know, you wonder who is the leading assist man for Waukegan. It is Jeremy Richmond. Comes into this game with 105 assists. He has a couple tonight.
He sees the floor so well and draws the defense to him.
Rob Stupar that time got a decent look at a three, and you can talk about Rob Stupar's 61 three-pointers. Tell you more about Stupar in just a second. Here you go. Dundee High School won the boys state basketball championship in 1938. Who did they beat?
I'm going with Paris.
I was going to say Paris, so I'll take Pekin.
Okay.
That trivia question is brought to you by the National Association of Realtors. National Association of Realtors wants you to know that home ownership is an investment in your future.
Yeah, you were talking about Stupar's 61 threes. How about a better number for that young man? That's 0 grades less than an A in his high school career. Now, those are the numbers that really matter. He's never had anything but an A in his high school academic career.
Here's your answer to that question. Yikes. We got stumped on this one. Under head coach Eugene Delancey, they defeated Reed Custer, 36-29.
Eugene Delancey, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but that young man has over 600 and change wins in his career. Obviously highlighted by that state championship for Dundee-Crown. 600 and some wins, that's a lot.
We said those were the state champs in 38 for Dundee High School. They also finished third in 1946, the only other finals appearance up until this season.
Break a leg.
Freshman Akeem Springs can't get it to go down. Dundee-Crown, who says they like to run when they get a chance, do just that, and Beck will finish it.
Coast to coast with Beck, the crossover at midcourt, goes from right hand to left hand, then acceleration, and gets the ball all the way to the 10.
Mike Springs finds the sweet spot off the glass.
Springs now has 7 points, and that one was in a hurry like this one.
Whistle blows, and I'm going to say there was no shot on that play. Evidently, it happened earlier on. Get a good look at Ron Ashlaw, and he's in his second year at Waukegan. 38-18 record there, 134 and 115 overall in his 9th season as a head coach.
Waukegan 24 points off 19 turnovers at Dundee-Crown.
Richmond with 18, Nickerson with 25, 43 of the 55 Waukegan points in a 31-point lead. Beck wanted to get that nice roll, not going to happen, and that's how our quarter comes to an end. 55-24 at the end of 3 here in our first Class 4A semifinal here in the IHSA TV network.
It's all Waukegan here at Carver Arena with 8 minutes to play, and when you talk to the folks from Waukegan, one of the first names they tell you about is Melissa Green, one of the team moms. You don't have a child on this team, but yet you're a team mom. Explain that.
Well, my husband had been a coach at Waukegan. He passed away a couple years ago, but we've been very involved in all the sports and all the children there. So as part of keeping involved with them and actually helping us more than them, I've been baking cookies and getting things for the kids if they've needed it. So come to be team mom and really get a lot more out of it than I give.
Your late husband Gerald was an athlete at Waukegan, then went on and played football at Wisconsin in the USFL, the Canadian Football League. You guys are kind of synonymous with that, but yet it goes beyond the cookies, doesn't it? You work at the school and you're keeping tabs on these guys, aren't you? Kind of a cop.
Yeah, like a mom, I have the luxury of being able to check up on them and get their athletic eligibility, their grades, and their attendance and things through the school, and I do make sure that they're on track, as well as kids who are non-athletes too. So I get called mom a lot through the day, and just like a cop is a mom.
Well, I think your son's out there. You said how many kids do you have, and what do you respond to that?
It depends. It's either 3 or 3,000.
She is the mom for Waukegan, and your sons out there are doing very well. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Melissa Green, one of the unsung heroes at Waukegan, guys.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you very much.
Here's Rob Stupar. His 3-ball will not go down. Ron Ashlaw has cleared the bench for Waukegan. That last rebound to Anton Williams. He's a 6'4" junior. With it now is David Dunn.
That does two things for Coach Ashlaw. One, it gets a lot of people an opportunity to play in the state tournament for extended minutes, but it also rests the legs of his guys for tomorrow night's championship.
Our third quarter stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
50% for Waukegan. We're 12 for 39. Abysmal shooting for Dundee-Crown. A lot of shots altered. 7 out of 13 for the arc. Really jumps out at you. And 0 for 7 for Dundee-Crown. And they needed to hit some 3 balls early and often to stay in this game. It just didn't happen. Maybe there.
And it is 3 for Stupar.
His 62nd of the year. He gets his feet underneath him and set. Nice release.
You talk about those stats, the numbers that impressed me for Dundee-Crown through 3 quarters. They've out-rebounded Waukegan 27-23, and they have out-rebounded them on the offensive glass. 10 offensive rebounds for Dundee-Crown. That means there's a lot of heart in those young men wearing red.
Yeah, they've been very resilient, bouncing back and continue to play hard. Good job by Waukegan right now, getting 3 or 4 touches, reversing the ball to side. Second group showing some great discipline.
Here in the near side with it is Marquise Edmonds, and he'll knock it down. Marquise with the bucket. He is the brother of Marquand Edmonds. They are both seniors, but they are not twins.
Marquise averages 1.3 a game, but you know what? He looked like he knew what he was doing on that square up going to his left.
Stupar looking for another, and he may get 3 free throws out of this.
Here we go. Shoot, guys.
He marches right to that free throw line following the foul on Marquand Edmonds.
I got to go back to Stupar. We mentioned it just about 2 or 3 minutes ago, but that is absolutely amazing. That young man that's on your screen right there has been to high school. Now, as a senior, he will graduate with nothing less than an A academically. What a great tribute to his academic prowess.
And by virtue of him wearing that Chargers uniform with the number 21 on front, you know the countless hours that he has not spent in front of his books. Makes it all the more impressive. Time management skills, and that's one of the things, of course, Mark, you and I both involved in high school athletics. The things that's so crucial to any athlete in any sport at any level is the time management skills they develop.
Absolutely, that's part of what athletics does teach you. See, Stupar's 70% free throw shooter. Dundee-Crown in that super sectional win against Neuqua Valley, as they were hanging on. They were 15 out of 19 from the line to seal that win. And we see they're 70% of the year, and Stupar 70%. So a very good free throw shooting team does Lance Huber have for the Chargers of Dundee-Crown.
Now we'll get a fresh set of bodies in here at those made free throws by Stupar. Fresh set of bodies for Dundee-Crown. So a lot of folks are going to get a lot of minutes on this collegiate floor here in the state semifinals. All the way to the hole, and the nice roll goes down for David Dunn.
David Dunn is just averaging 1.3 a game. You know, these guys don't know that they're not scorers because they're taking the ball right to the rack with authority. Anybody right now that Ron Ashlaw brings in is just getting the job done flat out.
Drew McMahon inside, a 5'10 junior for Dundee-Crown, gets a big cheer from his hometown folks.
Good strength inside, and he took a little bit of a bump but got the ball to the bucket.
Outside is Stephen Claiborne. He will give it back to Dunn. For 3, and they can't miss no matter who's firing them up. Anton Williams with the tray.
8 out of 14 from downtown River, if you will, for Waukegan. Great shooting performance tonight from beyond the arc.
They've doubled their per game average on threes. Nice kiss off the glass from Sean Bernhardt.
6-foot junior guard comes off the bench and gets the ball deep again. Dundee-Crown doing a much better job getting the ball to the basket right now. Of course, Richmond's not in there and Nickers is not in there. That's a little bit of a difference maker, those two guys.
Don't you like it with the 10 players that are playing as hard as they are right now at the 4:22 mark here of the fourth quarter?
Absolutely. A lot of talent on the floor as far as the depth is concerned for all these teams down here at Carver.
Waukegan 4:22 away from heading to that state championship game tomorrow night. Dundee-Crown playing hard to the end. Back with more from Carver Arena after these words. And here is a look at Walgreens' picture-perfect moment. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right, Good Sportsmanship campaign and attitude. Making an appearance, great Walgreens cap on the top.
That is a great picture. Can't beat fun at the old ballpark, I guess, to grab the old cliche, but it's really true.
Dundee-Crown cheerleaders, their school representing the Fox Valley Conference here in the state finals. The first Fox Valley Conference team ever to advance to the finals. And you know how much it means to conferences that by the end of the year, you're rivals during the year, but then when you get to this stage, you're all one.
Yeah, now Jacobs plays good basketball. Crystal Lake Central, Crystal Lake South. I mean, there's some, you know, the Woodstocks, there's some nice basketball played up in the Fox Valley area.
We set a school record wins. The 9-game winning streak here will be snapped in about 4 minutes.
But they caught fire at the right time, didn't they? Finished the deal.
You know, as with many of the teams, and actually it's been kind of a story here in this Final Four in Class 4A, had to survive. They had to win in overtime. Think about that. I mean, you have Dundee-Crown that had to survive in overtime in the regional semifinal and then defeated Huntley by 2 in the regional final. They get a last-second shot from Jeff Beck in the sectional championship game. You can say it's living on the edge, but it's also getting the job done.
Well, you know, in order to get down here, you take Oswego moving to the championship in 3A. They had the last-second win again, overtime win in the regional, the sectional, then again today. You know, it seems like maybe only Thornton has had a pretty clear drive here. Good step between, splitting the defender, and then boom, the rotation comes over, and the rejection by David Dunn.
Into the game is Ryan Smith. He has it now. Smith, his first game appearance this year for Dundee-Crown, and he'll give it off to Kevin Cronin likewise. A couple of sophomores. Drive inside and a strong one from Sean Bernhardt. He's done that a couple of times.
Bernhardt coming in and making his presence felt. He's making a statement for not just now, but for the future as well. Give me some tick right there, the junior.
We said the first 8 players for Dundee-Crown seniors, so you're getting a look at the future here of Charger basketball. Dunn very active inside for Waukegan. The Smith deflects off of his hands. Ryan Hagan wearing number 25 for Dundee-Crown. He's into the game for the Chargers. And a new wave of players comes in for Waukegan.
20 turnovers now after that one for Dundee-Crown. Persistent passion defensively by the Bulldogs here tonight, especially the first 16 minutes. They just put on a defensive clinic.
Jumped out to that quick 10-0 lead. I mean, literally, you blinked and it was 10-0 to start this game. You know, and Anthony Longstreet, our analyst here in the IHSA TV network at the half, made an interesting comment. You know, they somewhat survived that early run, kind of hung tight for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, another 12-0 run, or was it 13-0 run that Waukegan ran out, and that pretty much put the ball game away in the first half.
Yeah, it was at one point extended to 18-4 run with, you know, just steal after steal and transition after transition.
James Towns loses it. Kevin Cronin goes the other way and knocks it down.
Kevin Cronin.
Cronin, the sophomore, gets a bucket on the transition. Picks himself up a little bit.
About this, 20 of the 38 Dundee-Crown points have come from their bench here tonight. 3 ball on the way for Jeremy Long, and he puts it right down the bottom.
Sounding redundant, but that's 9 out of 15 from 19 foot 9 inches for the Bulldogs tonight. Better jump shooting than anyone would have anticipated.
Into the hands of Waukegan. Looking for another 3. It said the drive inside will come up short from Luis Fernandez. But it'll be the Bulldogs basketball with 2:06 to play.
Great officiating by Gary Boer, Gene Rayford, Mark Powell, the officials for tonight's game. And what I mean by that is they've kind of been inconspicuous. Nothing controversial going on. They've let the kids play the game. And with a 65-38 lead by Waukegan, they're kind of letting things go just a little bit more, letting these kids play as much as they can.
Well, that time they had to blow the whistle as the contact was initiated that time by Colin McCarthy, and the man who was victimized was Stephen Claiborne. You know, and I like this too, and I know we've talked about it. 65-38 is your score, but both these coaches are coaching because these are players that will be producing for them in the future, and the coaches owe it to them.
Absolutely.
Jeremy Long knocks that one down.
Same play they ran earlier. Come off a little screen, square up, left, right, shoot off the curl cut.
Couple of free throws coming up for Sean Bernhardt. Reminder, coming up following this game, we've got our second semifinal, a much anticipated matchup. Whitney Young out of Chicago taking on the Thornton Wildcats. Thornton losing their first game of the season. They've won their last 29. They come into this game top-ranked team in the state.
There'll be some athletes to be seen coming up in the next half hour when that game tips off.
The winner will take on Waukegan tomorrow night. Our third place game here in Class 4A will come your way at 6:30. Sean Bernhardt off the bench, 6 points. Again, congratulations to Oswego and Champaign Centennial. They'll be playing for the Class 3A championship tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning, third place game. Leo and North Lawndale.
Sean Bernhardt, no relation, right?
I do not know the young man. The block will be credited to Kevin Cronin, and the Dundee-Crown fans making some noise about it. You know, we look up into the regions here at Carver Arena. Dundee-Crown has taken it all the way from row 1 all the way up to row top.
They've expanded their section up in the upper bowl. Exciting times for these different communities.
Same goes on the other side for Waukegan. Rebound to Cronin. They go ahead to Connor Martin. Wants a reverse and gets it.
What a great move. He used the board as an extra defender. Reverse layup from the right side to the left.
As we said, the folks from Dundee-Crown High School getting a glimpse at their future here, and it's looking pretty good here in the final quarter.
Yeah, the young guys have had a little bit of spark to them, made some plays, get up and down the floor.
From the free throw line, Smith can't get it to go.
So we'll walk the other end. Just a dominating performance by Waukegan. No other way to describe what we saw tonight for the first 16 minutes and then deep into the third quarter before Coach Ashlaw, Ron Ashlaw, emptied his bench and rested his starters and got a lot of playing time for some deserving substitutions.
Seth Taylor at the free throw line for the Bulldogs. A look at the final numbers were really pretty revealing. 15 steals for Waukegan. Smith can't get it to go, and the tip does. Kevin Cronin.
Cronin at 5'10", just kind of batted that ball up, flicked it back up on the glass with his left hand. Pretty exciting play.
Connor Martin a little bit too aggressive here at midcourt. Get a look at Colin Nickerson talking to Jeremy Richmond, their best buddies. And they are best buddies again tonight, combining for 43 points.
Yeah, they hang quite a bit off the court, and I guess their two older brothers are friends as well, and that's what brought them together.
Richmond spending a lot of time at the Nickerson house. And they're making plans for tomorrow evening at about 8:15 for that state title game. Sean Bernhardt with 8 points, and he leads Dundee-Crown in scoring tonight.
3 out of 3 from the field, 2 out of 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds. He took advantage of the opportunity he had to store for him tonight on the big stage.
And the reserves for Dundee-Crown making the score more respectable, and Ryan Smith will stick it up there between rim and glass.
We should probably just hold on to the basketball here and get ready for a state championship for Waukegan appearance tomorrow night.
67-46 is your final. Back with more here from Carver Arena after our first 4A semifinal is in the books.
And we are back at Carver Arena. Waukegan, the big win over Dundee-Crown in our first 4A semifinal here tonight. Ron Ashlaw, start to finish, wire to wire, pretty impressive performance by your team here tonight.
Yeah, you know, we talked about not overlooking anybody, staying focused. We've been that way all through the state tournament. We knew we had to come out and get off to a great start, and I think we did, and rolled that into the second half.
I think one of the most impressive things I noticed about your team tonight, I think your guys would just as soon get an assist as to get a bucket.
Yep, and we've talked about that all year long. Share the basketball. We have so many dangerous players offensively. When we move that basketball, we are really hard to guard.
Good luck to you tomorrow night. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, Colin Nickerson is our Country Financial Player of the Game. 25 points, 11 of 17 from the floor. You need to buy your teammates a steak dinner or something like the quarterbacks do for their linemen, man. They were really generous to you tonight, weren't they?
Yeah, well, they counted on me to come up real big this game, and I didn't let them down.
Talk about that sharing of the basketball. Your team, I noticed you do it a couple of times too. It seems like you just as soon get an assist as to score a basket. You guys really do a good job of moving the basketball around.
Well, it's not all about somebody shooting the ball. It's just find the right shot and the best shot, so we executed on that tonight.
Tell me about getting to the state championship game tomorrow.
Oh, it feels good. It's going to be a real good game.
All right. Congratulations, Colin Nickerson, our Country Financial Player of the Game. What a night he had, and what an impressive performance by Waukegan.
Indeed, Lee, as Waukegan had made plans for this state finals for a long time. They weren't going to be denied. They had a couple of close calls throughout the tournament, but they made sure there was going to be no close call here this evening.
Absolutely dominating. They did it defensively. They did it in the open floor, and they did it by distributing the basketball, sharing it with one another. And as the game went along, their athleticism just became more and more omnipotent. I mean, it was just an incredible performance by Waukegan. We saw it Tuesday night. We saw it tonight. Can they do the three-peat tomorrow night in consecutive ball games back to back to back? They're playing at a high level right now.
Highlights coming up, as there were many to be had here in this 4A semifinal game. Jeremy Richmond, he didn't play in the fourth quarter, but he got it going early.
Well, you see the extra pass, swinging the ball vertically side to side, creating extra pass. Then Dundee-Crown gets a nice little jump shot right there from Aaron Reams to follow up, and Kimbrough, who came on late with about 3 or 4 offensive rebound baskets. Then the incredible shot by Nickerson. That one started with a jump shot from the far side. He ran down his own offensive rebound and was able to hit that circus shot on the inside. So Nickerson was the leader. They say he's a leader in practice, is what gets them going. He was the leader on the floor tonight. Richmond gets the accolades. Nickerson does the dirty stuff.
Take a look at your Menards final game statistics. Save big money at Menards. You take a look at the shooting, assists. You take a look down the Waukegan side, 17 assists out of those 27 field goals.
Well, absolutely. We talked about the extra pass on numerous occasions. That's why they shot such a high percentage, 27 out of 55. And, you know, there was the transition points. We know about those, but 9 out of 16 from three land compared to 1 out of 9. I think that was really something that they established early on, their ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Points off turnovers, 28-7. That's just about the margin of victory. In fact, it is 21-point difference coming off of turnovers. Of course, the majority of those points off of turnovers and turnovers for Dundee-Crown coming early. The number that was impressive to me for Dundee-Crown, I mentioned it earlier, the rebounding advantage. They outboarded the faster, the bigger, the stronger players from Waukegan.
They certainly did, but also up on that graphic was the 15 steals that Waukegan had tonight, and they parlayed those into points on a consistent basis.
Waukegan with 9 made three-pointers here in this first game. We've got a game number 2 coming up, but there's going to be a lot of three-pointers being shot right now here at Carver Arena. Let's go to Lee Hall.
All right, Dave Bernhardt, thank you very much. Yes, it is time for our Country Financial three-point showdown. We've got 4 young men who advanced from the 32 finalists last night in 4A. We've got Zach Boster from Huntley, Michael Coleman from Berwyn-Cicero Morton, Brad Hallstein from Normal West, and Tom Roth from Elgin. And if you haven't seen the Country Financial shootout before, 3 racks, 5 balls each, 45 seconds. It's that simple. Zach Boster, 13 points a game, team leader in scoring and in three-pointers made for the Red Raiders, coached by Marty Manning. Zach made 11 of 15 last night, then had to go to the shootout and made 8 of 10. He's got 4 makes right now. Check that, 3 makes, now 4. All conference, all area, Zach Boster. He wanted me to ask if Steph would go to prom with him. So Steph, what's the answer, young lady? He's got a T-shirt on with Steph's name on it. And just wanted me to ask just in case he didn't win. 7 for Zach Boster, the defending 3A champ. He was second in King of the Hill last year, and a prom date hopeful, depending on Steph's answer. It's been a while since I had to ask for a date for prom. And I don't think I've ever asked for anybody else. Michael Coleman from Berwyn-Cicero Morton, home of the Mustangs. Michael's a 6-foot junior, made 11 threes last night, and then made 9 of 10 in the shootout. Makes 4 of his first 5. Nice stroke. He's shooting the college three-pointer. He's way behind that black line. Tony Martinucci is his coach. Back-to-back conference champs for Berwyn-Cicero Morton, as opposed to Morton, Illinois, just down the road from Peoria. 3-year varsity letterman Michael Coleman, a member of the track conference champions, wants to go into law in the future. That's 9 out of 15, and there's 10. Double digits for Michael Coleman. He's our clubhouse leader. Tyler Less of Peoria Notre Dame was our winner earlier today in 3A. He advanced to the King of the Hill competition here tomorrow night. And the 4A winner will do the same. Brad Hallstein from nearby Normal West, home of the Wildcats. Brad's a 6'8 junior, coached by Brian Couples. The Cats went 15 and 15 this year. Brad made 12 threes last night. He makes 2 of his first 5. Big left-hander, 6'8 left-hander. That's impressive. Yeah, that's what I just said, left-hander. He's shooting with the wrong hand, and he's still pretty good. Wow. He ran the table on those 5 to the top of the key. He liked that shot. 8 points per game for Brad Hallstein. Doesn't get the shooter's roll there. 10's the number he's looking for. He will come up just a little short with 8. Still a good performance, but boy, 5 out of 5, top of the key. Michael Coleman of Berwyn-Cicero Morton is our leader. Our final three-point shooter is Tom Roth, 6'1 senior from Elgin. He was the top performer last night in 3A and 4A with 13 out of 15. We'll see how he does here tonight. 45 seconds and 15 shots. Mike Sitter is his coach at Elgin, home of the Maroons. Tom is an all-conference, all-area quarterback, a pitcher in baseball, and he also plays center field. He makes 2 of his first 5. Nice shot there. We're right behind him, and you can see the rotation, the great follow-through, keeps his eyes on the front of the rim. Just a little long there, 4, and that's 5 out of his first 10. Needs all these to tie Michael Coleman of Berwyn-Cicero Morton. He's going to come up just a little bit short, but that's still pretty good shooting. All right, well, Zach Boster of Huntley did not win, but he might have gotten a date to prom, and that's not all bad. Our winner is Michael Coleman of Berwyn-Cicero Morton. We'll hear from him in just a second. Jim McWigan of Country Financial is handing out the hardware here. Country Financial sponsoring the three-point showdown. And here's Michael Coleman of Berwyn-Cicero Morton, 10 out of 15. Not as good as last night, but still pretty solid.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I mean, I just had an off night. You know, everyone has it. You saw everyone. We all hit 13, 12, and 11s, went into a showdown. I mean, you know, everyone has an off night. I mean, it was great competition for being my first year downstate in the three-point shootout. I mean, I was in it freshman year. I got eliminated first round, but I'm glad to be back to represent us and had some great competition over all the shootings and all the games we've played.
And we'll see you tomorrow night for King of the Hill, too.
Yes, you will.
All right, good luck. Congratulations, Michael Coleman.
Thank you.
All right, and Jim McWigan of Country Financial from Joliet is here with us. And tell us about your involvement, Country Financial's involvement. Great to have you along with us.
Yeah, we're just proud to sponsor this event. Country's been sponsoring this event now for about 30 or more years, and this is just something that I think Country takes so much pride in, and I'm just humble and proud to be here myself, and these guys are great kids, and just glad to be here.
All right, thanks to you and to Country Financial. We appreciate it. Jim McGuigan of Country Financial out of Joliet. Now it's time for the High Flyers. Now we have it on pretty good authority that a certain Air Jordan gentleman will be in the house tonight, and he's really kind of the guy that helped get the slam dunk contest to the popularity level that it once reached in the NBA. Dominique Wilkins kind of got it started as well, but Michael Jordan was the guy that really things really took off, if you will. So this is kind of a hand-me-down from Michael Jordan, who will be here in the house tonight to watch his son Marcus as he plays for Whitney Young in our second 4A semifinal as they take on Harvey Thornton coming up here. Michael will not be participating in any slam dunk competitions tonight, but these four young men will. Jordan Threloff of DeKalb, Senzi Salasini of Mount Prospect, Cameron Norton of Downers North, and DJ Bennett of Sandburg, our competitors here tonight. These young men will get 45 seconds each to throw down as many dunks as they can. Senzi Salasini, I just want to make sure I said it right, my man. Again, these gentlemen everything started in regionals, advanced to sectionals, and then 32 young men dunked here last night in 4A. And these are the four finalists for tonight's slam dunk competition. The winner advances to tomorrow night, or actually tomorrow afternoon's King of the Hill competition, where all four classes will be represented. Jordan Threloff, 6'10 junior from DeKalb, got 34 points last night. He's off and running with the reverse jam. The DeKalb Barbs are coached by Dave Rollman. You may not know this, but barbed wire was invented in DeKalb. Jordan's a 3-year varsity starter, all-state honorable mention, the 8th ranked prospect by Chicago Hoops. Nice little reverse jam there. What do you think of these dunkers, young man?
Really cool.
Really cool. I think you're right.
They're actually pretty good. I bet they're going to be in the NBA someday.
Well, you might be right, buddy. Jordan Threloff from DeKalb, our first competitor. He had 34 points last night. $33 points in tonight's competition. Senzi Salasini, 6'2 junior from Mount Prospect, is our next competitor. John Camardella, his head coach. He goes with the high bounce for the first one. Look at him get up and throw it down. Senzi Salasini of the Mid-Suburban Conference champion Mount Prospect Knights. Here's his second attempt. A little behind the head. The Knights were also regional champs. Senzi tells us he has a 42-inch vertical leap. And you're seeing every bit of it right there, a little windmill action. What's your name, sir?
Ben Dishman.
Ben, how are you? Oh, there's another good one by Senzi. How would you rate this guy so far?
A+.
A+. Okay, Ben. Can you be on the news? Okay, a little later. You're on TV now, man. You're on TV all over the world right now. 38 for Senzi Salasini. Cameron Norton of Downers North, 6'6" senior, is off and running here. 37.3. Oh my, nice little windmill type action there, two-hander. Here he goes again. Oh, didn't quite get that one. Didn't quite get that one. All conference, all tournament at Elgin. Nice little reverse off the glass there. And all area honorable mention for Jim Thomas's Trojans. The left-hander throws down another one. He's got 20 seconds left, 45 seconds to make as many dunks as possible. High bouncer, didn't quite get that one. He's kind of got that body type of Anthony Parker, who played here at Bradley, now is with the Toronto Raptors. So tries for the big, spectacular finish, but he's not going to get another attempt as the 45-second clock will run out on him. That's Cameron Norton of Downers North, our third finalist here, and we will get 39. He's our clubhouse leader. And up next, our final contestant, DJ Bennett of Sandburg. The Sandburg Eagles. DJ is a 6'7" junior. Said this is really his first season of basketball. He was on the sophomore team and only played one game. He got that first one out. Oh, there's your winner. What do you think of that one?
Really good.
Really good. I think that's A++. Oh! Booyah! That was a reverse. Here he comes again, DJ Bennett. Oh, Bennett, he darn near broke it. I'm telling you, that was pretty good. I think the other guys are getting ready for their concession speech. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys get a workout out there, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. What's that?
I think it's a bit tiring for like the first 20 seconds.
Cameron Norton was worn out before we got started, I think. DJ Bennett getting a standing. Oh, these guys are like they're gonna shun him now. His fellow contestants. Now, it's really fun to see these guys. They come from all over the state. They don't know each other. They come here for this competition and then they pal around and get to know each other, and it's like they've known each other all their lives. DJ Bennett, the winner of our slam dunk competition here in 4A. And he will move on to the King of the Hill. He'll move on to the King of the Hill competition here tomorrow night. DJ Bennett of Sandburg. Bennett, you darn near broke it. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, you love basketball. This is the first. You were telling me this is like the first time you played competitively.
Yeah, I keep having medical problems and stuff, breaking bones, and I really want that coordinated. So over the summer, I just practice like every day.
It worked.
Yeah.
What's the key to that two basketball dunk at the same time? That's incredible. Don't drop one.
Yeah, don't drop. I've been working on that for the longest.
All right, hey, congratulations. We'll see you here tomorrow for the King of the Hill. All right, DJ Bennett of Sandburg, our King of the Hill champion, and my co-correspondent. Tell him your name again, Ben.
Ben Dishman.
Ben, where are you from?
East Peoria, Illinois.
Okay, Ben Dishman, my helpful correspondent here on the IHSA TV network. We'll be right back.
This